The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach full potential, and the want for beyond excellence. This is what defines this individual. The founder of Whoopee Land Amusement Park, the owner of the Chocolate Room Lalitpur, and the managing director and founder of Origin Venture Grounds and Whoopee Land Amusement Park. I would like to welcome our very own MBA Epics alumni, very enthusiastic Mr. Saurav Basnet.
Thank you.
Okay, let's begin with our interview. How are you running your business this past years?
In this past years, I have been working mostly on the recreational business, food and hospitality, and then now also in some a little bit on production sector too. So with that, when I returned from the abroad, I started working on the this recreational business called Whoopee Land Amusement and Water Park, which is very popular in Kathmandu Valley. And after that, I have also worked on the food business, food and beverage. So the chocolate room is my solo venture. So I have been handling this pretty well. So this is the franchise from Australia. Its parent company is in Australia, but its major outlets is in India. There are more than 250 outlets in India and other 11 countries, including Nepal. So I have taken the whole master franchise right for the Nepal. So I'm doing pretty well in this. Now another business I'm building is a resort, which will be completed within 2 weeks from now. Which is inside the Whoopee Land itself, So, as I said earlier, we are always trying to give new things to the customer. So this time we are building a different kind of resort inside the Whoopee Land itself, with the same infrastructure. Just we have to manage things.
So, what are your experiences in these field business sector, especially during the pandemic and post-pandemic?
During this pandemic situation, as I said earlier, it's so hard to manage, because the business I am into is all service sector business, and those all business were closed for a few months. The park is closed for 1 year. Now we are reopening from tomorrow. So, but this restaurant also, it was closed for 2 months, 3 months, and then it was open for a certain time, and it was again closed. So there was such a huge disturbances. And during this pandemic, there are certain losses, like the rental loss, some salary, and some stock loss. Some stock gets expired and everything. So those things are really hard to manage, because once we get into the business, we have our overdues, but when we don't have the income, when we have the zero income, so it's really hard to manage. We have to put the capital from our pocket, to sustain the business. Otherwise we have to close the business and then sell it, or just run away. So we can do that too. When we have a vision, we have to try to stick. We have to manage in this time also. So yeah, we have managed till now, but with some loss. But now it's doing pretty well.
Okay, how have you overcome all the challenges during the pandemic or like post-pandemic situations? How have you overcame all the challenges as you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, in every business, there is challenge. It's full of challenges. So if there is no challenge, then there is no business at all. So it's full of challenge. So especially in our country, the challenge is from the government side, from the local authorities, even from even from our stakeholders. Everything, the challenge is very hard to manage. As I said, during this pandemic, we have our cost, but we are not given any concession from the government side, and anything I shall give you one example. Like the electricity bill, that they always charge the demand bill, even if we don't have any use of the electricity, we don't have any operation in the business, they charge us the electricity bill too, rental costs, those are already in our head, but those costs are also the major costs. So from the government side also there are challenges, and normally also from the government side, like road infrastructures and development, we private sector, we are doing our business, we are doing our thing on normal way, but the government should also focus on the like building roads and everything, because those are always bring the challenges, for such things. And another one big challenge in the hospitality sector in this type of business is staff turnover. Staff turnover is a very 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 major challenge. It's because you bring one staff, you train them, you give them every idea of the business, and then they certainly leave, we have to hire new one. So it's really hard to manage that challenge. So these challenges are like before the pandemic too, and after the pandemic. So people are always searching, like staffs are also searching for a penny more, so if they get it, they run away. So that's the major challenge in this type of businesses.
Okay, so how have you overcome all these challenges, and what is the global scope of your business in this present era?
So yeah, with every challenge there are also solutions, so some solutions are short term, some are long term, so some can be managed immediately, some can be managed, some will be managed in very long term, and some doesn't go away at all, like, but still with the challenge we face, what we see, what is the problem there, so for example, electricity, Nepal, we don't know when the line goes out, and then at that time, suppose this is my restaurant, during a peak hour, sometimes the electricity goes down. So what can we do? Certain menu does not, certain things we cannot prepare, certain things, so we have to convince the customer, by going into his table, and then they will understand, and then we'll try to fix it as soon as possible. What happens, So some are from the government side, some are from our side. So these challenges are like it's very hard to manage. Like in this pandemic, like as I said, the rental cost and everything, those challenges are like completely lost. As I said, we have to pay the rental, but we don't have any income source. At that time, we take it out from our pocket. We add some extra capital to the company, and then we run the business. So that has been the solution. But with every solution, there are some losses. So we have to manage the business with the losses. We have maintenance and everything. So it's really hard. And about the scope of this business, like my other business, like Whoopee Land Park and everything, it has really huge scope in Nepal market. Once after the Whoopee Land Park has been opened, there are various parks in Nepal after Whoopee Land. They have all seen the scope and opened in different sector, and we have also opened in Itari. So seeing that scope, seeing that market crowd, there has always been scope. And this restaurant, of course, this is a franchise, so international franchise. So this has definitely a huge scope in global market. But in every country, they have different owners, they have different master franchisee who has been taking this business. So maybe in future, maybe if in some countries, if they haven't taken the master franchise, so I can suggest, if someone, my close is, if someone is there, I can suggest them to, take the franchise for there too, And definitely in Nepal also, this is doing really good. People are liking it. It's a new concept here. It's a dessert cafe. It's a new trend here. People are following new trends every day. So in Nepal also, we have a huge scope for expanding the chocolate room itself.
As an individual, how satisfied are you with the milestones you have achieved?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy because I'm working on my interest. That's the major part. When you work on your interest, on your dream, it gives you kind of happiness. Whatever the problem is in the business, whatever the hassle is, so it give you happiness and satisfaction. I am also happy for I studied in the abroad. I have got some knowledge there from there also, and I have given some employment in Nepal. Due to that, I am also happy. At least I am giving some employment opportunities at least for few people. So maybe in future, if I do well, maybe I can increase that number. So that way also, I am very happy.
It's always a good food for thought to learn from entrepreneurs. So, what are the messages you would like to give to the aspiring entrepreneurs?
So basically, when you think of doing business, when you think of some idea, if you want to implement it, definitely we need some market study and everything. And in certain things, if you have the capital, if you can manage the capital, if you can bear the risks of, there is always some risks in the business. If you think you can bear the risks from investing, I would always suggest to plan it the right way and then immediately start it.
So you have reopened the franchise, the chocolate room, and also amusement parks like Whoopee Land and Yippee Land. So how do you balance both work and life at the same time?
It's hard. It's really hard because when you do business, it's like you give your time like 24 hours. Even when you try to sleep, something comes in your head and sometimes it's really hard to sleep. Sometimes you get good sleep, sometimes you get nightmares. It's really hard to manage because if there is any tension, if there is any problem, everything comes in your head. It's not like doing a job 9 to 5. I do the work 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and then after that I'll work it tomorrow. It doesn't happen like that. When you do the business, you have to be careful. You have to be, 24 hours. You have to give your time, except like a sleeping time and everything. But yeah, sometimes it goes smoothly. Sometimes there are like a certain, up and down waves in the business. But now, I've been managing till now. Let's see what happens in future.
Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and giving us our for the interview session. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much.